Yeah, I mean, look at it like this. What happens if you try to get it perfect? And do you really believe that this really exists? Does perfect exist? Honestly, I never saw something that is perfect. Do you, Daniel? Did you ever see something that is perfect? Honestly, I don't know. Nature is perfect, yeah.
I don't think even nature is perfect. There's full of imperfect things, but I think that the whole sum of nature makes it perfect again.
Exactly.
But there's already like things there you can watch, and then you don't see the little imperfections that are maybe here or there. So, hello Manuel, welcome. New episode here at the Virtual Frontier, our Q&A session for this week. And our topic is how to stop procrastinating, and maybe some tips around that to get things started. Procrastinating is in general like a stepping stone for poor performance, and things can get probably quite off the rail if you not stop it at the right moment. But do you procrastinate, Manuel, sometimes, and maybe how you get out of it?
I do, sure. I think everyone does. And I would lie if I say I don't do that. I do it with things where I feel they are not really important, but someone else asks me to do them. I want to do the person a favor, but other things that are on my desk, on my mind, I find them more important. And that's why I constantly think, okay, I can do it next week, I can do it tomorrow, and so on. But in the end, it gets sometimes, then I do it when it's stressful. Either people get disappointed or I feel that I procrastinated too much and I didn't achieve my own goals. And that makes me most angry. And then I do it.
I think this is one of the few positive traits of procrastination. If that what you just mentioned, if things are in your world not on your mind not so important, and you prioritize other things first, then it's possible a good thing. Procrastinate sometimes. Sometimes the task or the whatever goes away, and sometimes it gets wrong, and then you have to take care of later on. But this is one of the few positive things that contains with procrastination. People regret more things. This is something we all know. More the things that they haven't done, that the things they have done actually. How to become more aware about the possible consequences if you don't do the things at the right time or with the right energy.
I think
talking about tasks, actions, decisions, whatever.
I think you always need to look at yourself, what it means for you. I mean, it's always boring when you do work just like, I don't know, for a boss that tells you do this, do that, and it's meaningless and you have no idea why you should do it, but you do it because it's your job. Then you get bored out, and in the end, you just procrastinate all the time and just try to do what's really urgent and important. Otherwise, you lose your job, right? That's typically when you are just a person that receives tasks and you have no idea why they are important. But when something is important for you and you don't do it, the answer, what happens if you don't do it, you just know it, right? You just know it. And if you don't know it, then it's not important. Then you should not do that because it just keeps you busy. You have no idea why it's important. But when it's really important and it's urgent or becoming more urgent, then you will do it.
How do you work up on deadlines so you're not getting stressed out? This is something that happens all the time. If you're a good procrastinator, you keep things pushing toward the deadline, and then the deadline is maybe 2 days ahead, and then you get really stressed. But how you do avoid it up front so you're not getting stressed at all?
So I really plan my priorities. I have a Trello board and there is everything in it. And I procrastinate a lot, but I don't say it's procrastination. It's just prioritization. I take those things that are really important. And what is important when you procrastinate for somebody else, set expectations properly, and then do what you say. What I can't really like, I would say I hate it when people either don't commit to something or they say one thing and do another thing. So they tell me, yes, I do it till Monday. And then on Monday, I don't hear anything. And on Tuesday, also nothing. And on Wednesday, maybe if I ask, right? That's a no-go for me. But if you have crystal clear priorities, that is good. And that's what you need to really achieve what's meaningful to you and the results you want. You just need to set proper expectation to other people working with you.
Right. So another thing that plays always into procrastination is, and this is I think also a special German trait, is perfection. Going with something that is imperfect rather than doing nothing is probably better. What to do about those perfectionists tendencies in your life, maybe especially if you're German?
I don't have that, honestly. I believe in speed and progress, and that's perfect for me. I don't need to have it perfect. I rather start something with 80%, maybe even 60%. And I know it is not perfect and there are problems, but the biggest problem is if I try to be perfect and never start. That's the biggest problem, because that is when perfectionism prevents you from progress. Yeah. And I don't like that. So whenever I can start, I really enjoy speed and progress and seeing results and implementation. That's what keeps me going all the time.
Okay. And what can you maybe say to a person that is like really into this mindset that they have to get things all settled, that everything has to be upfront prepared and like, let's say, perfect before they start moving one feet or one finger?
Yeah, I mean, look at it like this. What happens if you try to get it perfect? And do you really believe that this really exists? Does perfect exist? Honestly, I never saw something that is perfect. Do you, Daniel? Did you ever see something that is perfect? Honestly, I don't know. Nature is perfect, yeah.
I don't think even nature is perfect. There's full of imperfect things, but I think that the whole sum of nature makes it perfect again.
Exactly.
But there's already like things there you can watch, and then you don't see the little imperfections that are maybe here or there.
Yeah, but what you just said is that everything is constantly evolving and nothing, and there are always failures, and that is perfect because that is how it is. Everything is like it is. So nature is perfect, and there are things that we would call failure. I think nature would call it's necessary to go to the next evolution step. And that's how I see it. When I try to avoid this problem and avoid that problem, I'm just in a mindset of avoidance, just in a mindset of like problems. They all like just prevent me from going the first step because I'm so fearful that this might happen, that might happen, and that's not perfect, and this won't work. Then you don't move. Yeah. Just move on, see what happens, make it better, see what happens, make it better, and take your learnings and enjoy the process.
How to handle big tasks, projects, and so on, that when you have them upfront coming, you're not falling into this procrastination mode.
Mm-hmm. Try to sit down and do your planning and plan as good as you can, but don't aim for perfectionism. Try to make a plan that is as good as possible, and then do the work, and you will see that your plan was wrong. And then you take your learning and fix it and improve it and adjust your plan and so on. That's how I would do it. But I would not overplan, because then it's again the same. You never start. You are just fearful of so many things that could go wrong, and no progress at all is the end.
But what about like getting things structured and breaking down tasks into smaller pieces and progress from there on?
Sorry, I didn't get a question.
So what about like getting like if you have like big projects, how you like break them down into smaller pieces. So you're not like having this big wall of a big project up front you and like breaking how you do that.
I typically try to start from the end result. I try to imagine how should the end result look like. For example, if you build a campaign, how should the campaign look like? Or if you build a software, what are the most important features? How should that look like? Right? And always just not think, okay, for whom is it? The campaign is not for me. I don't need to like it. The campaign is for users that interact with the content. They need to like it. Or the app is not for me. It's for the users. They need to like it. So always start from the users and what they want, and then try to get a picture of what the thing that you built needs to have as features. And when you have that described, so the end result after you did the work for a week, a month, a day, whatever, what's the result? And then try to break it down to smaller things, and then try to put it on a timeline when you could do what. It's always wrong. You need to know that a plan is always wrong. The purpose of a plan is not to have a plan that is correct. The purpose of a plan is that you try to think about what you want and how you could get there, and then get some kind of certainty as an emotion to get started with the first step. But then you will see that the plan is wrong, and then you adjust it and adapt it and get better and better. Yeah.
Right. Another important thing, and I think you talked in the entrance about when you are procrastinating and you are like pushing off tasks because you don't see the priority at this point. How to set boundaries so you are not getting stressed out and overwhelmed with incoming tasks and requests and calls and whatever.
Switch it off. We had that often in the Q&A sessions
we
already.
Need to repeat it. We are not there still. It's a good thing.
Switch off distractions, right? The best way to avoid distractions is to eliminate it. Switch off phone, email, Slack, Teams, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, everything. Close your door, put a sign in front of the door. Please don't enter. I'm busy. And then do it for an hour, right? You open the world again and you can be connected to everyone and everything if you want after an hour. But 2 hours, 4 hours of deep work is much better than just 1 hour. And you will really realize, first of all, how hard it is to get into deep work if you are just constantly pulled by incoming information. But when you changed how your brain works and you enjoy deep work more than constant distraction, then you will really enjoy it because it feels a lot more calm and productive, and you are so certain and confident that what you're doing is really the best and most important thing. It starts with switching it off. Install app blockers that block your apps from you being driven by your subconscious mind to always swipe through all the apps on your phone and on your laptop and everywhere and just answer a phone call when someone feels he or she needs to call you. That's really it.
Right. Can we talk a little bit about also the importance of delegating things? I imagine like the business owner that has like a huge pile of work on his desks, and like maybe the projects are not going so well, but they are still like holding on to those tasks, and maybe they should pull them somewhere else or delegate them into another places. But like they're having still like piling up those things on their desks and getting not really things done. So this is also really important.
Yeah, I mean, that comes down to prioritization, right? You should always focus on what's important and not urgent. Because when you control that, then you should never get really stressed because you make sure that the important things always get done before they become urgent, right? And you can prioritize that in a Trello board and task list. And then when you have other things that you also don't like, but they are important and maybe even repeatable, and the work is not complex, then you want to delegate that, right? That's an important thing. When you don't like it, it takes a lot of time, and then it sucks your energy because you don't like it. And it's not complex. That means it's easy to delegate. So I recommend then doing it just 1, 2, 3 times. Share your screen, talk out loud what you are doing and thinking, record that. And this is how you train someone else to do it.
Right.
And then you should do that. If you are a business owner or manager, you have to delegate. That's your job. You need to build something that can run independently from you. Otherwise, you failed in your job.
And how do you keep like track of the progress of your tasks, goals, and also the results? So maybe you get like a little reward for yourself, like seeing work gets done, and you have accomplished something.
I have a task list. Simple as that. I have a task list. I reprioritize it every Friday afternoon.
Maybe you can.
Yeah. That's it. And then whenever something new comes in, I don't do it immediately. I take it and put it into the task list. And the task list is basically sorted or split into columns based on roles or topics I have to work in. Marketing, sales, HR, strategy, right? So I take these things that come in, put them in the right tasks, then I reprioritize it. And when I have a time box in my calendar and this time box is active for marketing, I take the top item in the list of marketing, and then I just do that. And that's how time boxes and your prioritization system works nicely together. Then you are really the single boss of your time and your priorities. And that's everything you need to build something meaningful and to not just being driven by what others want from you all the time.
Yeah, right. One important thing also to stop procrastinating is connect with people that are get things done, things done. So
yes.
I want to thank you for that we are connected, because you are one person in my life that are really getting things done, and I'm always looking there and see how you're doing things, and thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. I mean, I enjoy working with people that want to get things done. That also motivates me to empower others that then grow bigger than they could think that they can grow.
Right.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from your side, or something that you would like to add that I haven't asked you?
Yeah, we could add a link to a workday assessment below the show notes where you can like put in what you are doing every day, and then it calculates for you what you should delegate based on how much time you spend, how important it is, and how complex it is. And then you can like categorize it by either it's something you just stop because it doesn't contribute to a goal, or you delegate it because it's quite a lot of work but not complex, or you put a time box in your calendar and focus on it to get it done and enjoy it.
Awesome. Let's do that. Manu, thank you very much for your time, and we'll see each other next week on our next Q&A session.
Cool. See you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.